Yeah, we're recording.
This meeting is being recorded.
Okay, we're recording. Are we recording here?
Yes, we are.
All right, let me get out of the way. All right, man, this is your show. Where's my where's my phone?
Oh, shit, bro.
Dude.
Right there.
Oh, why is it way over there?
I don't know. You set this whole thing up, so...
I need some notes.
Yeah, so first of all, it's been probably 4 or 5 months since I've done a podcast. It feels like. The last one was with Dave Drakes a while ago.
That was a good one.
Yeah, every time I get Dave on, great guy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, we're at the track. Cheers, thank you.
Dude, cheers. Let's crack them. You already cracked yours.
I already cracked mine.
Yeah.
I was a little jumping the gun. But,
So, here we are.
yeah.
We are in Winchester, New Hampshire.
Yep, out probably, 30 minutes from the border of Mass.
Yep.
That's about what it is. I only got a 40-minute ride out here, 45-minute ride.
About an hour and a half, 2 hours from the border of Maine, which is where I'm
So
from.
you guys aren't far from there.
No, we're not too bad.
You shoot across down.
Come down, hit 101, up or around. It's a pain in the butt.
Yeah,
you gotta go around
101.
Manchester. It's a pain.
Well, I know we take 101 sometimes to go up towards Rangeley.
Yep.
To avoid the whole 495 massacre of just traffic sometimes.
Yeah.
Which even 101 gets pretty bad sometimes, but.
Well, sweet. Well, welcome to the home of 953. This is
It's pretty sweet.
this is home base. We're in the back of my toy hauler right now at Winchester. Tyler, nice enough to bring me on to New England Riders Corner. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, pleasure to have you.
You did some riding today. How was the track?
Track was sick. I thought it was pretty sick. I took a dirt sample first lap. I think you got a video of that. I'll throw that in there. I'm doing a little vlog to this. I'll throw that in there. Maybe I'll even throw it in this thing. But no, it was good. I went here to race like 2-3 weeks ago, and I had some older tires. They were kind of smoked. I couldn't find traction for anything, so I was just frustrated the entire time I came here. And it was actually more wet than it was here, but today was perfect. It didn't dry out until maybe 12:30, 1 o'clock.
Yeah,
and even
end of
then,
practice.
Yeah, and now it's 3 o'clock now. They just got done the pit bike race, and the track was dry. So it was
Which
really
I hope
good.
they leave it that way. We're supposed to be getting a lot of rain tonight.
Yeah.
I hope they leave it dry.
Yeah.
All the water just kind of pitches off the thing, and it's good tomorrow. But we'll see, man. Racing tomorrow.
Yeah, if they get an inch or two, the track can take it for the most part. And Fran, the owner here, is really good at like just pushing the muck off so you can at least race.
Yeah.
Because it gets to a point where you can't, even if you till it up and try to get the water to go deep, it just turns into a muck fest.
Yeah.
And then you got the young guys, the kids on the 50s that can't get through. Parents get upset, pay the money to race. And so you just push the mud off, push it back on when it dries out, and burn the track.
That's it, man. And you know what? We're ready for anything. We're ready for mud. We're ready for dry.
Yeah.
You know, dirt bikes is dirt bikes. And,
Yeah.
you know, that's why, you know, we don't shy away from inclement weather ever. We're here to race no matter what, you know.
Yeah, you're like the through and through like moto guys. I mean, not the fair weathered riders.
I love them personally. I love the mud. I love racing in the mud.
Yeah.
I love when my kid races in the mud. It's a survival aspect, right? And it goes back to that. You know, why do we ride dirt bikes anyways? Is to challenge ourselves. So why wouldn't you want to add more to it? Why wouldn't you want that challenge to be that much greater? And so, I love the mud. I just love it. It's fun. You know.
I think so what you said about how don't we want a challenge? It's funny how the mindset nowadays is, I'm not riding in the mud.
Yeah.
I want an easy day. I get that. Everyone's got their own opinions and what they want. That's fine. But you're right. Dirt bike's not supposed to be easy, right? So, I mean, you race for a reason, a couple different reasons. I know I have a few different reasons why I race, but maybe one of those reasons would be to challenge yourself through something. You can go play basketball, you can go play all the other sports, but is it as challenging as motocross?
Yeah.
Debatable, I'm sure. There's different aspects and things. My perspective on those other sports are not what it would be if someone played basketball for 15 years. But I think when it comes to this sport, it's like if there's no growth, there's no forward momentum, and a lot of people are like, well, I can't get faster. And it's usually because of a number of reasons, right? And I won't get into that just yet, but I think one of the big reasons, like you said, though, is no one wants to be challenged. Yeah. Myself included sometimes. I'll wake up and go, dude, they just got hammered with rain. I paid $7,000 for my 450.
Yep.
I'm sitting there like, as a 28, almost 28 years old now, I'm like, if I'm gonna make money, I don't know.
Yeah.
Is it worth it? Maybe. It is fun. It's challenging, but for me, it's like,
yeah,
depends.
It's tough, and I feel the same way about my kids' bikes. You know, do I want them to race in the mud and gain that experience? Yes, but man, it sucks flushing out a bottom end. We've all flushed out a bottom end.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
No.
But again, it goes back to everybody wants to be challenged. No, get out of here. Get. My kid's trying to jump up here right now.
The back, so you can't see it. You can see
so we got the back deck here.
Yeah.
And my kid's trying to get in right now, trying to open the door because he's a meatball. It is about the challenge, and I'm gonna go. There he goes. My kid's being a pain. I apologize. It is about the challenge, and I think people forget that. And yeah, you don't want to beat up on your equipment, but at the end of the day, why are we doing this? We're doing this to challenge ourselves. You're what, 28? You said?
Almost.
You don't have to come up here and do this. I don't have to come up. I raced a couple of weeks ago. I don't have to do that. I'm 35 years old. I'm not doing it for any reason but to get that challenge and to challenge myself physically, mentally. And that's what sets this apart. These guys are crazy. These guys are nuts.
Yeah, we're all a little
Yeah.
crazy. I think you have to be a little weird or a little quirky somewhere to want to ride you can ride a dirt bike and be a normal dude, I guess. But us moto dudes, I was talking to Dave Drakes about this. We had a good conversation. He's like, he goes, I took my girlfriend to a race somewhere he's out in Wisconsin. He said that she was like horrified.
Yeah.
Because she's like, there's a guy over there just peeing around the tree. He's like, yeah, that's like
that's
what we
normal.
do. Yeah, like you open the door up to a truck and take a piss in the pits. Not a person blinks, goes, yeah, whatever, that's fine. So it's funny that there is something off, I think, with us, and we all think it's normal.
Oh yeah, but it goes back to most of the messages I get on my son's social media profiles are from these moms that have these kids that are 3, 4, 5 years old, and they're reaching out to us saying, I want my kid to do this. And you go back and you watch some of the videos that we post and you're like, you really want that for your kid? This is gnarly, but they want that. They want their kids to be different. They want their kids to not be a normal suburbia kid that plays soccer. Not saying soccer's bad, but man, I've sat in the stands at these games before. It's pretty dull, and here they're real people. These guys are real people. Nobody's small talking around the pits around here. It's a conversation. You're getting down to business.
Yeah. Do you think that those kids, those parents, want their kids to break the mold, so to speak? Do you think they see you guys, like yourself and TJ's accounts on social media, and they're influenced in a way, right? I don't really like to use that word, but it's an influence. And they see that kid, and they think that kid, your kid, is a certain way, and they want their kid to be like that? Or is it just they want to do something different instead of the status quo of, well, I signed Timmy up for baseball, and
I think it does have to do a little bit with how comfortable this country is and the world is right now.
Right.
We're comfortable.
Yeah.
We're fat and happy. We got food. We got good jobs. Everyone's getting good money. And I think these parents maybe want something a little different for their kids, and they're searching for what can that be. And that's where we have opportunity in motocross, because you talk low barrier to entry. You can spend $1,000 and get your kid out there riding dirt bikes.
Yeah.
Right?
You could, yeah.
And so that low barrier to entry, and I think they see somebody like, TJ, if they come across his social media profiles, or a Deegan, or they see that, man, maybe this is possible. Maybe I can have a different life for my kid.
Right.
That's not just t-ball and, soccer practice, and then, set them apart. And these kids are not normal. They're not. They don't have a huge portfolio of friends at school. They don't, because they don't understand what they do. And just it goes back to that point I told you, we don't small talk around the pits. Okay, so my kid's not going to school and small talking and making friends. My kid's going to school, he's talking to somebody, and he's like, nah, this kid's, he doesn't even know he's doing it yet, he's 6.
Yeah.
But I know he's talking to kids and like, eh.
You can tell it's something different.
Like this kid ain't like us, you know?
I try to think back, because I was 4 when I first started racing.
Mm-hmm.
So, same, young age as TJ. And I raced until I was about 14. So I try to think back on like my school experience, and it was bad.
Yeah.
I didn't get along. Kids picked on me.
Yeah.
And I always thought it was something. It was like me, but it was just that I was so different.
You're different.
That they just pick at you and they hate it. So.
And a part of me, you know, was a little bummed in my life that I didn't hang out with the football guys. I didn't hang out with the hockey kids.
I can relate.
I didn't. I hung out with my best friend at the time who also raced dirt bikes, and that was it. It was us, and we got each other. And so there's half of me that's like, man, I want my kid to be accepted in school, but then the other half that's like, yeah, but look at me now. Like, I was able to go out and do things in life that these other kids didn't do, and they can't do because they don't have. Like, they're constantly surrounded by friends that bring them up, and you're the best, and we're the best, like, I'll always support you. But I didn't have anybody. I had to do it on my own. So when I got out of high school and I had to start a company, I had to do it on my own. And I had to go in and meet people and talk to people and build relationships on my own. I think that's what this track and these experiences do for these kids at a young age. Yeah. We went to Kawasaki Race of Champions last weekend in New Jersey. Didn't know anybody there. My son and my daughter had like 3 best friends by the time we left that track. Yeah. Right? People they had never met before, kids their age that they had never met before, by the end of the weekend were like inseparable. That to me is worth way more than being socially accepted at their school.
Yeah, I have to agree. And it's funny that, like, when you said that, it reminded me of being a kid at the track, where it didn't matter. I know kids are going to be kids, right? But you could go to the track, get on a bike, like a bicycle, and play with the kids for hours. Yeah. My dad could tell me stories on where he wouldn't know where I was for hours because I was out playing. Yep. And it's one of those things where it just seems to come full circle, where it's starting to make sense as I get a little older. I see that now. Yeah. And it helps me realize these tracks, you go to these tracks, man, it's pretty incredible, like the group of people. Different group of people. Yeah. Right? I mean, it's like you have your good and bad with everything.
I'll explain it this way. When we get to a track, there's no place in the world that you can go where there's 1,000 people. You can pull in and let your kids out of the car and not see them for 4 hours and be comfortable. Right? Yeah. You can't do that anyplace else. At a dirt bike track, I can let my kids out of the truck and not see them for 4 hours and be completely okay with it. With 1,000 people around.
And you're totally cool with it.
You can't do that at a campground. You can't do that at a beach. You can't do that anywhere. No. You know, these people have each other's backs, and they watch over these kids, and they all have the mentality, you know, yeah, we're making tough kids, but they all look out for each other, you know, so it's really cool.
It is cool that, like, I guess my experiences have been a little different sometimes, where you run into some bad apples here and there, which is going to be a thing. Yeah. But like you said, I could go up here. I remember one thing that really stuck in my mind with, like, the community of, like, people racing. It was here years ago, and I blew out a front wheel, or I popped a tire. I went over to I'm drawing a blank on Jake Walker's father. Sorry, I think it's Bill. But anyways, I walked up, I'm like, hey, I got a moto and two races I got to go out. I blew my tire out. Can I borrow one? He's got 4 bikes in the trailer. Yeah. He's like, yeah. Take it off that one.
That's awesome.
I'm like, what? Yeah. You know, this guy's spending all of his hard-earned money for his kid, and he's like, yeah, take the wheel, no problem. It should be good. You know, check this, check that. I'm like, wow. Yeah. I couldn't thank him enough.
And that's what this community is, and that's what I want it to continue being. You know, like I want to make sure that we, you know, I don't want to say it. I want to keep spreading the gospel of you have to be that person for everybody else around you, because, you know, yeah, it's competition and we want to battle and we want our kids to win and we want to win, but at the end of the day, if somebody else isn't out there to race with you, there's no race. Yeah. Right? You know, like what? we need these people. We need these other kids. I need my kid to be on a gate with 40 other kids for that experience. And those kids, we need to help each other, you know?
Yeah, the last thing I want to see is a dying breed of people come up. And I know I was concerned a while ago because when I first started back in 2015, I was seeing like small gates. I don't know if it was because of the organization I was racing with, but I would see like 10 kids in the 65 class or something, and I'm like, this is weird.
Yeah.
Because in my heyday, when I was racing, it was 30 plus kids. Sometimes I went home early because I didn't qualify.
Yeah.
My dad was like, sorry dude, that's it. So I guess like, I know I'm not trying to like, oh, like the old days, but it's sad. It makes me nervous because this is something that I cherish.
Yeah.
You know?
It's coming back, but we have to be really cautious not to ruin it, right? So like we're getting more people in, we're getting full gates of 50s and 60s, but we have to be really careful not to, because it's easy to get excited about this sport, right?
Yeah.
So it's easy for me as a moto dad to get excited and be like, okay, we're going to this race, this way. You're training 3 days a week and this and that, right? So you take a kid that just gets into it and then you train him 3 days a week and take him around the country to race dirt bikes. That kid's done in 2 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? So like, and it's easy to do that locally. It's easy to do that with a local series. Like you're gonna grind, you're gonna win. Little Timmy, you better get out there and you better win. It's time for you to win. Well, guess what? After a little while, little Timmy's gonna be like, yeah, I'm over it.
Yeah.
I was just moving up to 85s, racing NESC. I had 4 brand new bikes a year, free.
Okay.
Like 4 bikes a year, good to go. Like anything you want, paid for.
Wow.
Entries paid for, gas paid for, everything paid for, right? Like we had it made. But we were racing NESC. You are an NESC champion.
Yeah.
Tell me what it's like racing NESC.
Hard.
Yeah.
Hard.
Now,
it's stressful.
Now do it to a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old.
Yeah. Good point, because I'm surprised I didn't get killed by my fiance, because I hammered it out last year during the COVID season, and she was like, what, are we done? Are you done? And I'm like, no, there's another 5. She's like, are you kidding? So I can only imagine having young boy or young girl trying to race and not be able to, I mean, it's a lot.
You burn them out.
I was, even myself, I love dirt bikes. I love racing. I love dirt.
You didn't wash your bike after the last race, did you?
Not fucking once, dude. Because I love it.
Yeah.
And I'll wash it later. But, But, like, I love that shit.
Yeah.
So, I can't imagine, like, I get burnt out from that. You know, like, even after the spring series, I moved up from B to A. I was like, I'm really stoked I got my white plates, but I'm kind of beat.
It's miserable.
I'm tired. And, like, I know that next step up is gnarly.
Yeah.
And, so that's one of those things that...
Well, that's awesome. Well, look, man, let's get into the show because we're just jibber jabbering. Like
I can do that a lot.
So talk a little bit about the concept that I brought to you, and what this is supposed to be.
Yeah. So I think you always seem to have some sort of hot take, right? Whether it's aggressive, non-aggressive, or differing opinions, whatever, it's good. Because it gets people to think a little differently about the same beaten path that we've been on for a long time. I try to stay neutral with everything.
Yeah.
Every person I've ever interviewed, I really try to stay neutral with my opinions, just as a host, right? But what we're gonna hopefully, as we do more of these, if we can do more of them, you present different hot takes that we'll gather from the week, whether we're still racing or not, doesn't matter. We'll go through them, beat them up. And I want to hear from you guys who watch, who listen. If you have opinions on it, comment. Hit me up, message Travis, whatever. And we're just going to basically just kind of go off of it.
Give me the hate comments.
Yeah, so normally, like Kiefer says, no hate comments. We want the hate comments.
We want it. We want
Talk about it. Get fired up, because life is so boring if you just accept and go, yeah, that's how it is, and you just kind of whatever. And you were talking to me earlier about some stuff, and I'm like, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. And I have questions like, why? What makes you think that way? But I think what I'm trying to get at is that I can kind of talk you off the ledge just a little bit if I think it's a little too crazy.
So. It's a steep ledge.
If it goes too far, I'm going to let you just go off the ledge and just let it go. Because
I've been known to do that quite recently.
yeah, I heard there were some stories about that.
I get, and we were talking earlier, I get passionate, right?
Yeah.
I love dirt bikes. I love everything about it, and I don't like seeing detrimental activity around dirt bikes, right? So
Yeah.
I don't like seeing something that's going to hurt the sport, seeing something that's going to hurt the people around it. Anything like that, I get fired up. So I mean, let's dive in here. I'll give you hot take number 1.
Okay, let's go. Give it to me.
New England motocross
Okay.
needs to lead the way with a new form of racing.
Okay. I've heard this idea, but not as far as New England base goes, but just all in. So what?
Why
Break
I
it down.
said New England.
Okay, let's hear. Yeah, I want to hear why you think New England as a whole needs to change. And now we're just talking what, a 2-moto format type deal? What are we? How much are we changing? Bring it.
Dude, I don't know.
Okay.
And that's the thing. There's
Alright.
some genius out there sitting there right now that could hear this and say, I have an idea for racing.
Okay.
Right? That's different than 2-moto format. That's different than the NESC grind your butt off every single week. There's something different. And why I said New England Moto is we did it already with J-Day.
Yeah.
Look, we did it. Okay? And it was awesome. And it took off. Do you know how many people started riding a dirt bike because of J-Day?
Shit ton. Because I know guys that from my town who have never thought about racing a bike ever, and all of a sudden they're like, "Hey, you race, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "Oh, I'm doing a J-Day," and I'm like, "I don't do those, but that's cool. Like, that's really cool."
Dude, last weekend up at Heman's Motocross Park, Harvest Fest, we did a relay race. Okay, 3 guys. You picked an A rider, a B rider, and a C rider on your team. Didn't matter who went first, but there was a gate drop, and every rider had to do 3 laps. And in between those laps, you switched a bib. Okay, so you had to take the bib off, put the bib on the
Over
other
the
rider.
helmet and everything.
Over the helmet and everything. Yeah, we didn't do taking the helmet off. I didn't want that. I didn't want the straps. I did help run the race, but I also competed in the race.
Okay.
I got second.
Nice.
I say but it was me, Lance Harder was our A rider, and Adrian Mayo was our C rider. And man, at the end of that, it was exhilarating. It was so fun, like that feeling of like camaraderie, and, and you do good.
Yeah.
But the coolest part about it was before the race, was the guys calling each other a couple of days before, recruiting people. Okay, what doesn't motocross have right now? Recruitment.
Yeah.
Who's out there actively recruiting right now?
Nobody.
No.
Maybe not out in our area.
But
anyways.
let's say there's a team aspect to it, okay? And you know that I am a decent B vet rider. Okay?
Yeah.
And let's say a team calls for a B vet rider. Who are you gonna call? You call me up.
Right.
Say, hey man, what are you doing next weekend? I don't know, sitting on the couch. Well, dude, there's a race.
Yeah.
Against other B vet riders, not against pros, not like, but it's like a team thing, right?
It's your skill level.
We need to get that recruitment aspect going. We need to get, and not only that, let's say New England finds something, right? And we do something really cool. What could that mean for professional motocross racing? What could that mean for the guys that have retired? Okay, what could that mean for Villapoto? Because he still wants to race. We all know.
Oh yeah.
What could that mean for these guys that have all this talent, but they don't want to go kill themselves at a professional race?
So they want something.
Like we could start bringing guys in from the past, giving them a career past their career. You know?
Yeah. Well, we've talked about that before, where you have a career as racing pro motocross, and then it ends, and then it's like, what now? You did that for 10 years.
And I'll tell you what, right now, those guys that retire are not financially happy. Okay,
Yeah.
there's this curtain of they're rich. Oh, that guy, he's rich. He retired. Hey, what's he buying now? I tell you what, right now, that money goes very, very quick, and life is a lot longer than you think it is. There are guys right now that I know are multi-champions, and they're running out of money.
Oh shit.
So there has to be something. We have to do that for them. Like we have to respect them enough to give them something past their pro career.
So, I'm not against this because I think one of the big problems that I see with like low number turnouts in New England is that people get tired of the same old racing at the same old tracks.
Yeah.
Now you have Poacher who does New York off-road, which I have friends that don't like to race but love to go to those and race. What's that telling you?
Yeah.
That tells me something's pretty fun about that shit.
And then think about the different aspects that you could do of two-wheel motorsports. It doesn't
Yeah.
just have to be go pound a moto.
Yeah.
Do you think about it this way? Eli Tomac,
Yeah.
incredibly talented. Do you know what it would be like to watch him do something else on two wheels? Do you know how cool that would be?
Like mountain biking or something, right?
Not just mountain biking, but like let's say like ride a trials bike or ride a dirt bike off road or like do something, right? Like, but there has to be incentive because for him, he will never touch a dirt bike off a dirt bike track because if he gets hurt, he's done.
Right. So if he's getting paid to do something different, if there's a different sport, a different format that pays good money, like what? Thank God we had Travis Pastrana. Yeah.
Thank God that kid had the foresight to say, yeah, I'm not just going to go pound motos. Travis Pastrana, dude, Ryan Dungey, Villapoto, like these guys are not just fast riders, they're talented.
They're smart guys too.
They could do the stuff, they probably couldn't sustain the same injuries that Travis did, but they are talented.
Yeah.
So what could we watch them do that is, and again, I'm just stating this stuff because we're in New England, we're in a microcosm, we can test stuff, we can do cool stuff.
Yep.
Somebody out there can think of this, and somebody out there can start to do something really, really cool. I know it. I have a feeling. On
a local level, I'll end this on this note here. On a local level, what could change or make racing more fun? Right? Is it different formats of motos? Is it? Do you have an organization that does only relay races, or do you have more events like a Harvest Fest where we're not racing here.
Yeah.
We're gonna do our relay races or our pit bike races, right? But every month we have one, and it's like a consistent thing where the promoters are making money, which is fine. Track makes money, great, and you get to go out and race and do something that's a bit more fun than the beaten path of, hey, I'm at NESC, which I love, but you go to NESC and you do 15 rounds or 14 rounds, bro.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, by the time that's done, you're like, I don't really want to look at my bike.
To be honest with you, NESC, in my opinion, its only place in New England motocross is to turn B riders into fast A riders.
Yeah.
That's it. And then for vets. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's why you go to NESC. For no other reason I would go to NESC. Unless you're a vet rider and you want to ride 6-7 classes a day, or unless you're a just coming into the B class and you want to be A next year, that's where you do it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all NESC is good for. Sorry. But not sorry.
The guy's right, because you know what? I don't see a lot of 50s there. And you know what? I don't see you there taking TJ. And that's kind of why things separated with Hemans, I believe. I didn't get the full scoop, but it doesn't matter. But if you're worried about the growth of the sport in New England, you got to cater to the young kids.
Yeah.
Straight up. And I think there is a lot of catering to the guy who's 55 years old who wants to relive his glory days of racing. I'm going to be that guy someday. But I wouldn't be mad if I had one class to pick from.
Yeah.
Because that's all I need. What do you need fucking 4 classes for?
It's a self-serving organization, okay? And they're all out there. They're like most motocross organizations. God, dare we go up the ladder? MX Sports, are self-serving, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so how do we make money? Vet riders, because they have all the money.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're established later on in life. They come out, they got their 8 kits and their KTMs.
So, but there's something, and I think you touched on a cool aspect of maybe it's these events that go off, because that's what we do. We travel around. We travel around all over the country, going to just one-off events, right? Like, that's a cool event. We're going there. We're doing that.
Yeah.
Like, maybe that's what it needs to be. And don't get me wrong, there is a place for NESC. NESC makes fast dudes.
100%.
That's it. You want to be
can't
fast?
debate it.
You want to be
yeah.
fast in New England? You go to NESC.
Yeah.
That's it, because that's
Straight
where
up.
they're at.
Straight up.
So, to me, and maybe this is a call to everybody out there, start thinking about it. How do we do it? How do we change
Yeah.
how do we change the game? Because I can tell you, even at high levels right now, they're having conversations about how do we change this a little bit.
Because you're going to eventually not kill the sport, right? But if you don't feed new life into something,
Yeah.
it just tanks eventually.
Yep.
Things become old.
Old
things
content. Oh,
yeah.
Tomac took out Cooper Webb this weekend.
Yeah.
How long until that gets old?
Yeah.
We've seen the takeouts. We've
Yep.
seen the crashes. We've seen Supercross. Like, yeah, I still get excited for it. I still watch it. But
Yeah.
what's next?
You know what bothered me a lot, and I'm going off topic, but when like a year after Ken Roxon's both accidents, they would just
Drilling
drill it into your face every
That
time
was
you had a
their
commercial.
story.
And that's the thing, is it's views. And the people that don't necessarily follow motocross a whole lot see that and get excited. I get excited when I see crashes on
Yeah.
NASCAR.
Hold on, I'm gonna get our guest.
Because I got a topic with him that I wanted to hear his perspective.
I'm gonna get
on
our
it.
guest. So we're
Yeah.
bringing in our guest. You want to introduce our guest, or do you want me to introduce?
Well, I don't have a problem introducing him. You want me to let him get in first? Where is he?
Oh, he's coming. I just texted.
All right.
him.
So, this is a not controversial. This topic. Hold on. All right, I'm holding on.
I'll give you my hot take.
Yeah, let's get you. I want to get your first because I have some different views on it. So,
All right,
here he is.
ladies and gentlemen, Adrian Mayo.
What's up, dude?
Have a seat, bud. Watch out, there's a spider. All right,
So I haven't introduced myself, but I'm Tyler McAdams. What's up, buddy? So, you know who this guy is?
So here it is.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Sandbaggers
Yeah,
are good for the sport of motocross.
and we're not necessarily calling you a sandbagger. I'm not. Are they
I
good
will.
for the sport? I don't think that they're bad, right? I think they're almost necessary. You mentioned this to me earlier, and I had time to think about it. So, sandbaggers. How do you define a sandbagger, first of all, right? Everyone's perspective is different. If I see a sandbagger, it's usually somebody that let's just play a scenario. Top 5 in the novice class. The first, those kids can run within 5 seconds of the top 2 or 3 of the B class.
Yeah.
All right, they're ready. If they stay in that class for no other purpose than just to fucking win for more than 2 seasons,
That's
time to go, buddy.
Yeah.
You gotta go. Why would you not want to go up? So that's how I feel about it, because I've also seen people and known and heard stories of kids who have maybe injuries. Maybe you didn't know about the kid, or you just started racing, you got into the class, and you're getting smoked because you're new to this, and now you're upset that the top 3 kids are running close to beat times, but you haven't seen what they had to go through. Last year, Johnny broke a collarbone. The other year before that, he broke his femur.
Yeah.
So there's so much to play into it instead of the surface. I have friends, I have kids that I coach. I get texts, well, it went good today, but these kids, man, they're just sandbaggers. I'm like, well, what did you place? Well, I got 12. You're nowhere fucking near those kids.
Yeah.
So why do you care? I don't mean to yell. I'm passionate about this. I get upset because the more time you spend bitching and moaning and crying about those 3, 4, 5 guys, you're not getting any faster. You're worried about Adrian Mayo, who's well away onto it. I mean, you can ride beat, but you have different goals, different things set. People don't know that. People don't ask you. They just assume that you just want to fucking smoke kids. You're a fast rider. Guess what? You go down south, you're going to have your work put in front of you. Straight up. It's not me being a dick, but I went down to North Carolina, and I was like, what? This is just North Carolina, dude. These guys are fast.
Yeah.
No joke. You go down to Florida, forget it. So it's like the C class here in New England is a tight thing. So is B. So is A. You get some of the top 5, top 10 A guys. They are no joke, right? But they'll go to a national and struggle to get in.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to get into the fast 40. That is no joke.
That's no joke.
So I just can't stand it when I hear, well, I did all right, but the fucking sandbaggers. It's like, dude, they are not sandbaggers. They are not. And you know what? those kids that are being called sandbaggers are good for the sport. I agree with you. You know why? It's because if you have the right mindset, that can drive you to get faster. Now you have the top 12 that are stiff competition. They're battling each other all the time. They're all within 4 or 5 seconds of each other, maybe more. Doesn't everybody want good racing? I'd be bored to have my kid go out and race by himself every single weekend, and knowing that he can't really race a B yet, but he's right there. I'd be bored. So, anyways,
what an incredible introduction for Adrian Mayo.
Yeah,
I mean, you just hit on like 4 or 5 of the hot topics on why Adrian is who Adrian is. Adrian, so say hi to everybody.
Hey.
So Adrian just goes out, mops up the pit bike class today.
Yes.
Which, by the way, what were there? Like 60?
71 riders?
Yep. Adrian pulls a second place on the start.
Yep.
You can't call it a hole shot unless you get it.
Yeah,
I've been told that. Okay, second place start, reels the dude in, passes him on the last lap. Tell me about the pit bike race. Was it gnarly?
It was fun. The track was really rough.
Yeah, they put him on the track at the end of the day, full track at Winchester.
Yep.
Didn't you put a hole in your lip? Don't you have a hole in your lip?
My tongue.
His tongue. You put a hole in his tongue because he bit the bars.
Dude. Yeah, it's stock suspension on that, right?
I have BBR stiff springs in the rear and front, but they don't really make a difference.
It doesn't. No, I know. I'm 170 pounds. I got on one, and I raced Masters of Mini, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't. It helps. Doesn't matter. But yeah, I mean, I couldn't believe. We were like, why is it taking us like so long to get these kids set up? They're gonna probably do 2 classes, right? No.
71.
Let's just line up 71 kids.
Chaos.
Dude, as they go by, Adrian, all the faster kids, PW50s, trail bikes, little kids. And I'm like, I don't think that's that safe, because if you guys had 2 more laps, you're bumping and banging into the lap traffic. And guess what?
They're little kids,
and if you want to win,
you're gonna
park these kids.
Oh.
I am.
Adrian, so the question is, Adrian, would you have parked an 8-year-old if he was in your way for the win in the pit bike
right
class?
into the berm? Would
you have parked him?
If I couldn't get him around in like 2 corners,
put him on his face.
Yeah,
8-year-old. I mean, dude, get out of the way. You don't even want
I love it, dude. Yeah.
You know, you got to learn lessons early in life,
That's
right?
It's just gonna help the kid later on.
So Adrian, fresh off a couple #1 plates at the Racer X main event, and again, bringing you in on a pretty hot topic is this quote-unquote Sandbagger thing. Man, what did it feel like for you? Because Racer X main event was honestly your first big event on a big bike. Like, what did it feel like for you going out there and, dude, you weren't just winning, bro. You were throwing down. Like, what did that feel like for you?
It was fun. I have only been on a big bike for like 2 months, so.
And sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. Before you go any further, you're only 14, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Adrian's only 14 years old, so just getting onto a big bike. Go ahead.
It was really fun. I didn't think I would have as much of a lead as I did in 2 of the motos I had. I had like a 10-second lead.
Wow.
Yeah. And you talk about lap times.
Yeah.
Going back to lap times is, dude, he's running like top 5 in the B class in lap times. Now those are lap times. Again,
lap times
you cannot compare. You can't compare apples to apples. But dude's rolling, right?
100%, right? And it's a totally different ballgame when you get into the B class. I know it was for me, right? Because like the mentality of everything is like, oh shit, now I got the yellow plate. Excuse me. It doesn't change. It's just a little bit faster. But
now I will say for me, when I was watching Racer X main event, I was watching Adrian. I went, man, super mini kids, okay? Because Adrian went to the regional on a super mini this year.
Okay.
Kicked complete butt, okay? I can say ass, right?
You can say whatever you want.
Fucking right.
I mean, I don't know if I'll get monetized, but
the dude went out and just rolled, okay? But just couldn't put it together to qualify for Loretta's. And then he comes to Racer X main event, and he's gone.
You just
right?
mopped everybody up.
So in the back of my head, and everybody has this thought, is like, man, kids off super minis that race at a national level should not race C class. You know who raced C class? Tevin Tapia raced C class.
Yeah.
There's a lot of dudes out there.
Yeah.
Jeremy McGrath.
Yeah.
Raced C class, right? But for me, these kids are so talented coming off of a super mini that they should not. They should be null and void for a C class.
Most of them.
So
yes.
I'm thinking that, right? I'm like, man, this kid should not be in the C class. But then you watch the B class. Okay, they're older kids. Adrian's 14.
Right. You're talking probably 18 and up, right?
New England, and this is why this is an issue up here. New England builds a Sandbagger atmosphere. We don't have like an incredible schoolboy class, right?
Right.
So there's not this schoolboy class that Adrian can go race against kids that are really, really fast. NESC has a youth B kind of thing, youth A, B, but why do you want to go youth B when you can, so Adrian races on a national level. Again, that goes back to that. Down south, you go down south, they have a D class.
They do.
They have D classes.
Do they have a D class? And I don't think it's necessary, to be honest with you. Because
that's the thing.
I don't know, because
you know what? It goes back to this.
Yeah.
When you see Adrian go out there and gap the field, okay, 10-second lead, okay, you know what I see? I see all the fucking nights that we sat there and we fucking cried because this kid had a concussion and this kid, we had to scrape him up off the ground and we had to put money into his bikes because he absolutely tortured himself on the track and wadded up. That's the work that a kid that goes out in a C class and wins by 10 seconds, that's 14 years old, that's the type of work that you see. So the dude, John Butler, that's out there that just started racing at 16, 17 years old, and he's mad because Adrian's mopping him. Yeah, dude. Yeah, we got money.
Yeah.
We got pain. We got concussions. We got life-changing, scenarios that he had to go through to get a 10-second fucking lead. And you want to call him a sandbagger. You want to call the dude that goes out and wins, like Justin Coquinos. Okay?
Yep.
I've been at amateur nationals when Justin Coquinos was on a 50 in 20th place.
Yeah.
Didn't stop him.
No.
They're still driving a Ponca. They're still driving to Loretta's. They're still driving out west to Las Vegas. The kid's in 20th. Every weekend. But now when he's on a B class, you don't see that. You just see, oh, there goes Coquinos.
Just
He's
destroying
gone.
everybody.
That kid should move up. No. Get better. Do the work.
Yeah.
Do the work.
Yeah. Now, do you hear this stuff from other people? Or do you just not give a crap about it and just don't even listen to what people have to say?
Mainly back 40 kids, but
Okay.
So Back 40's a local track
I've
up
seen
in Maine.
I've seen some videos
Awesome
of it.
track,
Yeah,
cool track.
looks cool.
But it's that you get that in New England. There's these pockets of tracks where nobody leaves.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And if that's your home track, you come in, you mop it.
Yeah.
They're gonna hate you.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know.
No, it's true. Because I could be a Winchester kid here and have somebody show up that does amateur nationals and all that stuff and just totally mop me up, but I'm normally a first or second place guy. It's happened.
What's the mentality for you when you go to the line and you know somebody's, because you've had it before, 60s, 80s, super minis, when you go to the line and there's a kid on the line you know is just going to destroy everybody. What kind of mindset does that put you in?
I'm not really sure. I know I have to get the whole shot.
So you still want to?
So
you still want to pull
your
on.
mindset is, it's not whatever. I mean, it might be. All right, is it? Do you just not okay? I know he's there. I know he's there, and I know he's to my right. I'm still gonna try to get this whole shot. You don't really care if he's there, in no sense. Doesn't matter to you.
No.
Okay.
And with
that's
that
a strong
mentality,
mindset.
that mentality, Sandbaggers are good for motocross.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now again, the 2-3 year career dudes, maybe you're slitting tires at night in the pits, but
yeah, I mean, yeah.
And it comes down to experience too. These kids are out there gaining experience.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to throw him in a B class. I wouldn't want to throw him in an A class just because he has top 20 lap times.
Yeah. It's
no. Those are adults. Those are dudes that have matured mentally. And can handle what's going on.
Yeah.
You're in the C class for a reason.
Yeah. Young kids, typically.
You're there to grow.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so recently, not recently, but I moved up out of the B class, last season. But I thought about it, and someone had said to me, "Yeah, you've been in the B class for a while." I didn't think about it like that because I had two major. I think I had a broken collarbone and then I had a broken crushed foot that took me out of 2 seasons. So I didn't think about it like that. I thought it was really like a 2-season kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm doing pretty good. But that's the same thing. They don't see what you go through. They don't see what I go through.
See the pain.
So they're like, "Oh, you're winning every weekend." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm on a roll. I feel great. You know, I'm finally getting where I want to be." And it's like, "Oh, yeah, you're moving up yet?"
Time to move up.
It's like, dude, like, I'm going to go to the A class and get waxed.
Yeah.
I went to the A class, got waxed.
Yeah.
Like, it's a whole different thing. Could I spend another year in the B? Maybe. But I pointed out. So I play the game. But it's...
And that's the thing, too. What I didn't realize, and I had to do some research, is these Super Mini kids gain promotional points in the Super Mini class.
What?
Yes.
Why?
At a national level.
At a national level. Okay, not
So-
like local.
So when we,
Okay.
so we're going down to Minios. Adrian's flying down. We're bringing the bikes down. When we get done Minios,
Yeah.
he's gonna be pointed out. Like he's
After that race?
out. Like he's in the B class.
Oh,
You
you're
know?
racing B
He's
down
racing
there?
C down there.
C. All right, so after that race, you're done. You're
We're
in the
done.
B class.
We're in the B class. So
For good, even up here.
oh yeah.
Okay. I think you're good for it, but...
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's gonna be rough. First moto, maybe like outside the top 10.
Yeah, maybe 12th or something like that.
What do you think? What are your goals for Minios, and what are your goals for when you go B? Because you have to obviously be thinking about that already.
So at Minios, I want to get at least top 10, and then once I go B, I want to go down to JWTF and ride their big pro track a few times this winter.
Yeah.
That track, when I went down there in February, they didn't have it groomed, but like I walked it. It's legit. It's a legit track. You're like, oh, what's that? It's a wall, and it's it's not hard, but it's like at first glance you're like, that is a big jump. But that's the kind of stuff that you're going to see as you go into the amateur ranks and you start doing amateur nationals. So that's a good idea.
And how cool is it? Because we haven't talked about goals or anything. How refreshing is it to hear somebody say, "Hey, my goal's top 10 at an amateur national"?
Yeah.
Like that's a cool goal.
Sounds like an attainable goal.
Yeah.
Did you and your father or mother like think about this kind of stuff? Did you just kind of come up with it yourself? Because like a lot of times I'll talk with people and they're like, "Well, I want top 3 when I move up to B." And it's not really a realistic goal.
Yeah.
No fault of their own. You should have goals and be ambitious, but you have to have attainable goals because if you don't attain that, right? Now it's, well, I'm just not fast enough.
Right.
These guys, this and that, all these excuses. So, like, you said you have those goals. What have you done to, like, work towards those goals? Have you been in the gym more? Do you exercise? Do you ride a lot more? Is there certain things that you decided that you're going to do so you can get a top 10?
I want to ride more.
You're going to ride more, yeah?
I don't ride much on the weekdays, but I'm going to be riding the EJP Supercross track a lot. So.
Cool.
The Bubba Stewart mentality. Ride more. Ride more.
Yeah.
Carmichael used to live in the gym. Stewart used to ride.
And two different types of talents,
Yeah.
but I think one like that exercising with Carmichael supplemented his talent.
Yeah.
And I think raw talent, Bubba had that, and he just said, "I'm just gonna ride."
Yep.
And you know what, man? You can't replace ride time. You can't replace seat time. I'm out of shape. I went and rode today, and I can do 3 good laps. Guess what? If I'm in the A class, I'm doing 20 minutes.
Yeah.
That's like 8 or 10. I'm out of shape. I am not even going to try to race.
So I get called a Sandbagger, by the way, every time I race.
You get
I'm a vet B rider.
Vet B
30
Sandbagger. Okay.
30B Sandbagger. But you got to understand, 30A class, they're pros.
Yeah, I race against some of them.
Yeah.
Steve
right.
Avery.
So,
Gore.
FYI, I'm not a pro. Okay? Don't have any ambition to become that level of a rider because that's scary. Like, I'm not doing that, okay? So I get called a Sandbagger all the time. Because I go out and I get a top 3 in a 30B class. It's like,
how are you even...
Dude, I race like 3 times a year. And yeah, of course I want to be competitive.
It's frustrating. Like I said, they get salty because they aren't getting faster. They're in their comfortable spot.
Yep.
You might progress. Your comfortable spot might just be that 5 seconds faster. and you're in it. But
what you said earlier leads me into my next hot take. We're going to keep you here for the next hot take.
Yeah, let's
Our
do it.
final hot take. I came in with 3. We went through 2. You missed the first one. It was awesome. I don't even remember what it was. Excuses.
oh yeah,
This sport is...
don't get me started, dude.
It breeds excuses. And not the excuses that you're thinking of right now.
Okay.
This sport breeds excuses for when you win. Okay?
Okay.
Let me explain.
Yeah.
Okay, let me talk about my kid. Let me just say him as an example.
Sure.
Oh, my son went out and won the 4 to 6 class. He's only 5.
Oh, okay.
What? What do you mean he's only... My son went out and he beat this Sandbagger. That kid is a multi-champ. Stop making excuses. Oh, I won the 30B class and I'm over 40. Stop making excuses when you win.
Yeah.
This sport is king of excuses.
Yeah.
They want to make them when they win. They want to make them when they lose. They want to make excuses 24/7. Stop making excuses.
I've never heard of that side of the excuse before. Maybe I never not. Maybe I have never heard it before or paid attention to it, but that's true. Because you do get, Mr. Whatever with Jimmy on the bike, and it's like, oh yeah, he's doing great. Kid's only 6 years old, he's ripping.
How about this one? Oh, I went out. Yeah, I won today. There was only 5 guys out there, but I won. That doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if there was only
Doesn't
5
matter.
guys out there. You won. You line up,
Yeah.
you race, you won.
Yeah.
Stop making excuses, because if your kid hears these excuses, if you keep telling yourself excuses, oh, I only won because there were 5 guys, the next time you show up at a race and there's 40 guys on the line, what are you going to tell yourself? Oh, I can't do this.
Yeah. There's a lot of guys here.
Hey, Jesus. I won when there was 5, now there's 40. It's 40 dudes don't matter.
No.
Dude, your talent is talent. Your win is a win.
Yeah.
And for me, excuses... I and now that you've heard it, I guarantee you will hear it a lot more.
Now that you put it in my head, yeah.
Not excuses for losing, but it's the excuses for winning that piss me off. I did it myself. I did it to Travis. We went down to Kawasaki Race of Champions. He got a top 3. And I did it, and I remember saying it. Oh yeah, there's only 10 kids. And I was like, why am I saying that in front of my kid? Okay, because let's say there were only 10 kids, but those kids went to Loretta's.
Those
like,
10 kids
those
were
kids
slower
fast.
than him.
Yeah, and he went out and beat them.
So on the flip side, it should be, he beat these 10 other kids.
Not even, he got 3rd. Dude,
you get what I mean?
Third.
He beat these other 8 kids. Yeah. That's great. Like, as in, like, that's good. You're right. They don't matter. The biggest thing that I worked on it myself, and like if I coach somebody or whatever, all I ever hear out of someone's mouth is an excuse. This is kind of different what you're saying, but an excuse as to why they didn't do something the proper way, or why they didn't do well, or there is literally no accountability in this sport. You see it on the podiums. If you ever pay attention to like
the
Faulkner,
bike.
Yeah, like Faulkner this year was an absolute mental head case.
Yep.
I could see it from a mile away just from the way he's talking about himself. Okay, even another example. Jet Lawrence, I love the kid, went on the podium, had a terrible start, came all the way back through everybody to 2nd or something like that. Yeah, some bullshit. This and that, I did okay, but I'm not happy with this and that. It's like, stop, shut the fuck up. Dude.
Yeah.
You literally just went through the fastest
everybody.
40 of the fucking country and got to 2nd in a whole 30 minutes. Shut the fuck up. Like, that is such a bad mindset to have. I hope somebody said, Jet, what are you talking about, dude? Like, you just
be happy.
Yeah.
Just be
you
like,
should be
dude,
stoked. I'm so happy I did. Some of my best rides have been when I got crashed, taken out, whatever, hopped on my bike and went ballistic and made up 10 spots in 4 laps. And I'm like, wow, that was fucking incredible. So anyways, I digress. It's the excuses are rampant.
Yeah.
On both sides of what you're saying.
Yeah.
And I can't fucking stand it. And I get upset because I'm passionate about it, because all it ever used to do for me was get me a 12th place.
Yep.
Get me a 14th.
And at the end of the day, when you think about it this way, everybody has these excuses, right?
Yeah.
It's so funny to me when we leave a track, and I think and I go, my kid did pretty good, or I did pretty good, or I rode pretty good today, and then I think and I really think about it, and I go, no one cares. Like no one really cares.
Yeah.
Do you know who won? 450A at the Racer X main event, AMA event? Do you know?
I do.
You do.
Yeah.
Who was it?
Brighton Carroll, and the
Wait,
overall
who won the overall?
overall was Robbie Marshall.
Who won 250?
Me.
No,
250A.
250A?
Yeah.
You won 250A? Who won 250A?
I don't know.
Yeah, see, no one cares.
See? Yeah.
You know because you're in the media.
Well, that and I was parked next to Carroll.
Yeah, so that helps.
So-
Yeah, so you were following it.
Yeah.
Who won 250B?
I think Cooper Candace did.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Uh,
But again, it
I
goes
don't- I
back
still
to
don't
everyone
care,
wants to make
though.
these excuses, and no one really.
Yeah.
Like, dude, just live it up. Live your own life. Be happy
Yeah.
about how you did. If you crashed, cool. Shake it off.
One of the biggest things I see out here, even on the line, is people are worried about the guy to the left, to the right.
Yep.
You just said earlier, your mindset is like, well, I know XYZ kid is here and he's fast. I don't care. I'm
I
going
don't
to try to
care.
get that whole shot.
Yeah.
I'm going to get that whole shot anyways. I'm going to give it all I have. That's what you need. I used to go on the line and see Gregoire in the B class, Coquinos in the B class,
Yep.
all these heavy hitters, and I'm sitting there like, oh shit, man. Like, I can't beat them. Guess what? I obviously I didn't. I didn't have that
Yeah.
speed, but I didn't have a great moto.
Yeah.
Guaranteed, if I was like, I'm gonna catch on to them and I'm gonna hang on to them. Or the other way to look at it is, they're gonna race their own thing. They're separate from me. I'm worried about the three behind them and so on.
Yep.
I want to do what
The
I can
best
do.
you can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the more you focus on yourself, the better racing you have, the more fun you have.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you will get better. I was telling Travis that there's some kids I know that I coach with and talk to, and I don't think they mentioned you, but they just talked about the C class being Sandbaggers, right? I told them, stop fucking worrying about these guys, because you need to worry about what you're doing, because you are clearly not their speed if you got 15 seconds to cut down.
Yep.
You need to improve on things rather than worrying about what that kid's doing. It's the same mentality or same thought process as you're looking behind you every time you go around a turn or a jump.
Man, do I
You're looking
hate
behind
that.
you, looking
Yeah.
behind you. You are now racing in their position. You are now in second place, worrying
Yep.
about those kids. I have a habit of that sometimes. Sometimes I'm getting tired. I break into my old habits, and sure enough, there's
Yep.
there's third.
And then they got you.
And then they're gone.
And I'll
you're
tell
like,
you what, and we've been talking about that a lot with Adrian because we're training for Supercross for Mini O's.
Yeah,
Adrian doesn't know yet, or he hasn't seen firsthand or experienced it, how fast things happen.
oh yeah,
Okay, so you get a whole shot in Supercross, and you get passed by one dude, that goes to 5 dudes.
very quick.
And
Very
he
quick.
hasn't experienced that yet, so we're talking. We've been getting him on a Supercross track and working with him, and about how do you make a mistake and then correct it quick, and then don't focus on the mistake, focus forward.
Yeah.
And we've been talking really heavily about how to do that, because our first couple of times at the Supercross track with Adrian, he's like looking around at us and he's like, oh, I don't know, I just hit a jump, did you see that? And we're like, yeah, we saw that, but it's going to happen quick. Man.
Yeah.
How are you feeling on the Supercross track? How are things going?
It was fun. The lifts are a lot different than a motocross track.
Yeah.
Steep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
put you up and you're like, ugh.
Yeah, a bit more hard packed than like what you'd find at Winchester. Not letting loose dirt. I mean, I don't know what the dirt's like, but
The good news is with Minios is they've toned it down a little bit. It's not like it used to be. It used to be when 250C practice went out on the track, there was 1,000 people on the fence
Yeah.
because it was just carnage. It's
Yeah.
not like that anymore. They've toned it down, so we've got Adrian on a track that is not Supercross. It's a little bit more toned down, but he's feeling the lips out. He's feeling what those jumps are like, and it's cool. It's fun.
that's good. Let's just say like you go down there and you don't hit the goals you want. There's still a lot to learn and a lot to be proud of, and a lot to like take from those experiences and build on that. Don't ever feel like that when you don't reach that goal that you failed. I mean, yes, it's failure, and you need to recognize it, but don't let that be the focus. Like, all right, I didn't make it, I failed. Okay, what did I do wrong, or what did I not do enough of? And you find it, and you break it down, and then you move forward. I'm telling you, because from experience, if I don't do something or I don't do well enough with it, in the past, I've been like, well, fuck, I'm just not fast enough. No, it's not. Well, yes, in that moment I was not fast enough. What can I do to become faster? How was my effort? That's another thing. People always want to talk about how sick they are and how fast they went. And well, I didn't get the position. Overall. What about your effort?
Yeah.
Did you try?
Yep.
Did you really try?
That's where we're at with our boy TJ. It's like, dude, you don't have to win. I don't care. I don't care if you get top 5.
Yeah.
Like, we could leave here in 20th.
Yeah.
But work your ass off. Go
Try.
out there and try. You know?
Mom and Dad put an effort
Yep.
to get you here.
Yep.
My father said the same thing to me. I don't care if you're hurt, you get off the track. If something's broken, get off the track. But I don't want to see you get off that track if you aren't hurt or you want to give up. Don't give up. Don't do that to me, basically what he's saying, because he's spending all the money working a second job just so I can go out and race a dirt bike. I'm not a pro. I don't make money to race, and he spent all that time and money, my mother and my father, both. So you try to make it, and it's a good life learning lesson there too. Anyways, so
You ready for my last hot take?
yeah, because I can just
Let's do it. You ready for this?
Let's go. Let's do it. What is it?
No more AMA championships
Oh,
ever
ever.
in amateur racing
So what are kids gonna race for?
any class below a super mini.
Okay, that changes things.
No more.
So no more. So you can't race PW.
And win an AMA championship. Can't do it. You can go race,
Sure.
but there is not an AMA championship.
plate. No
on the
number
line.
one
No
plate.
number one plate.
What's that gonna do for the sport? Is that intense? I can't speak today. Entices or gets people involved with prepping for the super mini class? Does that make the super mini class bigger now?
Here's my problem, and what I have learned with my son. I've learned this with my boy. 50s, 60s, 80s. Those classes are development classes. Okay, I feel like NASCAR does it really good because you have to go through karting, you got to go through all these things, and those things are looked upon as development.
Okay.
It's development. It's not, oh, I won this go-kart championship. Like, you don't see this huge number one, like, NASCAR, like, sponsored amateur golf cart event, right? Not golf cart, but go-kart,
Sure.
whatever it is. You don't see that in four-wheel racing. Now, they have development where they come up through and they're getting better and they're getting better.
You earn your points and
Earn your points.
pay your
You win
dues
a
in a
local
sense.
championship and people look at you. But these AMA number one plates, dude, I've been there. I've seen it. Like, what was the regional like for you? Like, these kids on 85s. You went to regionals on 85s? Like, what was that like? All these kids just trying to make it to Loretta's to win a number one plate. Like, what is that pressure?
A lot. They don't really care what it takes. They'll clean you out if they have to.
Wow.
And I'll tell you what right now, the reason why those kids are doing what they're doing, not all of them. Okay, I'm not saying everyone's bad people. I'm saying there's some of them there that when they get back to their camper, when they get back to their toy hauler, the rest of that week with their parents is based off how they did.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Now, me, like, we spend a lot of money and we do this. My kid sucks. I'm not going to ostracize them. I'm not going to, like, it's not life or death, right?
Yeah.
But these kids, some of these kids out there in the 50 class, it's life or death. And I've seen it firsthand. I've watched these parents light into their kids. And I'm like, yo. So does removing that holy grail, does that do anything?
I would have to think you got to go by the roots, right? If you want to get rid of something, you can't cut the leaves off, right? Which would be the number one plate and a thing like that. I think the mentality of the parents need to change. I think going into it, I think it's a human thing. think it's a human thing.
For sure.
I do I almost want to go back on what I'm saying. The number one plate, if you get rid of it, I do think that mom and dad got their 4-year-old into racing and they heard about this amateur national thing and they go, he could win. What's he win? Oh, he gets, this and that, and they get a number one plate. And, wow, it's a coveted thing. Oh, cool.
Dude, number one plate means a lot right now.
But
you know what quick story.
Yeah.
Quick story. My kid won a number one plate this year.
Okay.
AMA main state championship, wins the number one plate. I'm holding it like it's a holy grail. This is unreal. So I go to show my dad. I go, Dad, look at this. Number one plate, man. TJ won a number one AMA plate. You know what he does? He sits down and he goes, you know what means more than that? What, Dad? He says, your NESC championship. I was like, really? Like, are you sure? And it got me thinking, it's a new age. It is a new age. That NESC championship that I won back on 50s, and my name is in the record book, in the NESC book, forever, means more to my dad than that number one plate ever will to anybody. So it's a new age, right?
Okay.
So, are we cutting leaves off, or are we actually cutting roots?
I would, because I tell you right now, I don't like the way that parents talk to their kids who race. I see it sometimes. I don't get into it. It's not my business, but I take note and I see it. But I think you might have something there where if you take this coveted holy grail and you're like, see ya, and your kid now has to develop himself properly, which is a whole other thing because a lot of parents don't do. Is there a right or wrong way to do things? Yes and no. Everyone's got their own flavor, but I feel like there's a right way to do something.
Well, and I'm getting yelled at. I gotta stop. We're
wrap it up.
We're wrapping it up. But let me
right.
wrap it up with this. I think that we need to change how everybody looks at these kids' classes.
Yeah.
They are development classes. Adrian is the rider he is, which, by the way, my opinion, I think we're going down to Minios to be a podium contender. He's the rider he is because his parents looked at it as development.
Yep.
They didn't go, we need this championship this weekend on this 65. This is our shot. They looked at it as, well, we made some mistakes. Let's fix this. What do we have to fix? What do we have to change? We have to look at these kids' classes humbly, right?
Building blocks.
They are. They're building blocks. Okay, we made these mistakes this weekend. What do we fix next weekend?
Yeah, I like it. That's if that kind of stuff can get enacted, which I don't know if it would take some probably like an act of God or something. But if that could happen, you could probably have a healthier building of a child because you're talking about children. I mean, never mind. Like your father, right? Yelling, not you, but like a guy in his 40s, 50s, right, yelling at his teenager about this.
No,
I see that all the time.
These are 7, 8-year-olds just getting obliterated.
These kids need to develop regular skills in life. Never mind on a dirt bike. So let them be. Everyone wants to live vicariously through their children. Most of the time. I'll be honest. If I have a son and he races, I'm going to be like, but I have to tone it back.
Yep.
Tone it back. Let him do what he needs to do. Let him fall.
Everyone gets competitive. It's human.
It's human. But anyways, look, so thank you for providing.
Yeah, man, this is awesome. Adrian, any last words? Yeah. Come on, the fans want you. They want to hear from you.
Before you say something, I want to ask, are you racing tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay, good luck. What class are you doing?
250C, Youth C, and Open C.
Nice.
Excited. Solid. We're hoping Youth C starts off with the Youth AB. Maybe they'll gate them all at once and you can go out there and swing it with some of the boys.
Good. That's good experience. Good.
Yeah.
So any last thoughts? Any last comments? I know we had a lot of weird topics. Not weird, but something you might have not thought about before. But I know, the last thing I want to know, or last thing I want to hear from anyone is like they get upset about other people talking about them. I don't think that should affect you, and I don't think you do let it affect you because you already know where you need to go and where you want to be and where you are now. Am I kind of right? I mean, any last comments? Tell a haters.
Who do you want to thank? Thank the sponsors. Give them some love. Yeah, he doesn't have sponsors.
See, this is the thing. This is the grassroots
Just
shit
running
right
it.
here.
Yeah, we're just running it.
Well, if you're listening and you want to help out Adrian, what's your Instagram handle? You got Instagram?
Adrian_Mayo 134.
Awesome.
Yeah, you can see him wad up on pit bikes.
Yep.
The dude loves to crash his pit bikes. And,
I saw that.
yeah.
But yeah,
So-
I mean, I think you guys absolutely should get some support and some help, and even if it's small local level or even bigger. And I know, but best of luck, man. Minios should be a great time. That's coming up soon. Cool.
Well, cool, man. Thank you for letting me sit in and give some hot takes.
Yeah.
Hopefully we did something, and hopefully we did more building than damage.
I think so. This time I didn't have any. I actually agreed on most of your.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll come with some hotter ones.
I need
next
some
time.
hotter stuff.
Yeah, I'll bring you the rough stuff.
That's fine, because I get passionate. I get upset about certain
Yeah.
things too. So I mean, I can always throw something at you.
Oh boy,
All right.
I'm ready for that.
Because I got some shit.
Episode 2?
I keep
We're gonna
it-
do episode
Yeah,
2?
we'll do episode. I just keep that stuff in here, and if I let it out, I might upset the right people. So, great. Anyways, you
all right.
need
Well,
to go, right?
Yeah, I gotta go, but you have sponsors. Give them a shout. Give them some love.
Yeah. So my main sponsor is myself. I love myself. I support myself
He's a
the
good
most.
dude.
Okay, I'm an all right guy.
He's
I'm
a
a
good
stand-up
dude.
guy. No bullshit. I don't like the bullshit. No, I got Motorsports International to thank. Those guys always have parts for me. I texted them one day, hey, can I come in on Thursday and have tires swapped out? Yep, no problem. Like, I don't even, you know what I mean?
That's
These
awesome.
guys are
Yeah.
so good to me. Jeremy over there, who runs the whole joint, owns a joint, great guy, enthusiast, full biker, through on through, just loves motorsports. Chris, Jake, everybody over there. Dave Brown from Hoosier Tire East. Dude, that Hoosier Tire was hooking today. You got a video? of
Was
me
it
doing-
good?
Yeah.
Was it good?
Oh, it's always great. A fresh tire, dude, is so good. So, Dave Brown from Hoosier Tire East, Moto Tate, Tom from ZRT Throttle, Poacher. Poacher's always working on my shit. Get the glam shot.
Oh, I got the glam shot.
Awesome.
Sorry, I'm taking selfies
No,
in the studio right
That's
now.
cool.
Oh, gosh.
That's a forward facing. Yep, there
Let's
you
go.
go.
Let's go. Get in there, Adrian. All right, guys. Boom. Who else?
Awesome.
So Dave Hoosier.
Yeah, Tom ZRT Throttle.
I heard those ZRT throttles are sick.
Crispy. I touched my buddy's 2-stroke KTM throttle and was like, yeah. It was
man.
like gritty. I'm like, no, I'm never gonna do that again.
Oh,
I
that's
highly
awesome.
recommend them, and I'll talk about it off air if you want to know more. But yeah, I'm trying to make sure I hit all my spots here. But Ben from Aggressive Graphics hooked me up with a free kit to test out some different material. Grateful for a free kit. That's awesome. The stuff didn't really work too well, so he's not going to waste his time and money on it. Awesome. He helped me. I helped him. Great. Yeah. Thanks to my fiance for not killing me yet with all the motocross.
I know
stuff
my
do.
wife's all mad at me
Yeah.
right now because she wants to hang out.
Great. All right.
All right, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Thank
Comment.
you, Adrian.
If you guys got takes, comment on stuff and let us know what you think.
Later.